Implementing the Australian Curriculum Health and Physical Education prepares our students to respond competently and confidently in a range of health and physical activity settings. But this requires understanding of the learning area aims, key ideas, achievement standards, content descriptions and focus areas. Today, staff at Kawana Water State College share how they have intentionally revised the movement domain of their HPE program to enhance student learning outcomes.
Here at Kawana Water State College, we've been on a journey of curriculum reform for probably the last 3 years, in particular around getting the intent of the Australian curriculum, improving teacher knowledge of the Australian curriculum, and putting that into our context. So for the HPE, it was natural for us to start within that area.
And so for me as the PE teacher here, we're wanting to align the intent of the Australian curriculum through HPE. We wanted to align the intent of the Australian Curriculum HPE at Kawana Water State College and prepare our students to respond competently and creatively in a variety of physical activity contexts. We also wanted to ensure the coverage of our focus areas as per their intent. We wanted to review unit plans and assessment tasks to strengthen the integrity of our address of the language, movement, skills, concepts and strategies. This phrase is throughout the Australian curriculum in achievement standards, content descriptors and focus areas. So my job was to take the Australian curriculum and bring it to a school plan so that I could expose equally and appropriately the achievement standards, focus areas for the Australian curriculum through my units of work from a P to 6 focus. Okay, so my whole school movement sub-plan basically looks like this document that I have here. Okay, let me show you the curriculum map. My curriculum map is banded in colours, it's colour-coded to show the bands so they're easily identified. The topic unit titles are also colour-coded to emphasise the focus area that's being focused on within that unit. As a consequence of revising the physical activity context, we needed to adjust some assessment tasks and learning experiences. We needed to remap and audit the achievement standard aspects, content descriptors and general capabilities within and across the bands. I also needed to develop new CARA documentation and I needed to improvise and purchase new equipment. I had a few challenges with regards to embracing not just the movement skills, but also movement concepts and strategies. I actually had to learn more about these intents. Some units that we had already developed were able to be adapted and meet the intent of the curriculum. For me, the review and revision of the PE sub-plan provided a deeper understanding of the intended curriculum. It also triggered ongoing professional reflection and a reshaping of my own practice. I really think my students are way more engaged and understand more of what they're expected to know and to do.
And as a result, we believe that we're now preparing our students to respond confidently, competently, creatively in a variety of physical activity contexts.
Yep.
To provide a full implementation of health and physical education at your school, you may like to consider the following questions. Where is your school up to in its health and physical education improvement journey? Is your school implementing the Australian Curriculum Health and Physical Education as per its intent? Have you reviewed your planning in the movement domain? Have you consulted the procedure for managing risks in school curriculum activities, the CARA? Ultimately, does your planning reflect the requirements of the P-12 Curriculum Assessment and Reporting Framework? To get started or check in on your HPE improvement journey, access the HPE Ed Studio, C2C units and the CARA website.